duty. But each day this week, we are going to be joined by Art to get a report on all that's going on with the Memorial Cup. So, with that, I will start this morning by saying, good morning, Art.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What time did you get home last night, Art?
Yeah, I got home pretty early, actually. I probably was home by last night. I was home by 10:15, I think.
So I'll tell you, since you were last on the show Friday, quite a bit has happened here, and really positive news for Saginaw here in the first few days of the Cup, hasn't it been?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in many ways, positive for the team because they've won both of their games so far, and the big game, which we expect a very large, noisy crowd for tomorrow, is when Saginaw takes on London. But before we get there, we have a game today, and it will feature the Moose Jaw Warriors versus the Drummondville Voltigeurs. And that game is tonight at 7:30 at the Dow. It's been great hockey, really, really great hockey. Last night, London beat Moose Jaw by a score of, I think it was 5-3, if I'm not mistaken. So right now, London and Saginaw both have 2 wins, and both teams are in the semifinals. And depending what happens tomorrow night, one of us may go directly to the finals, and then there'll be the semifinal game. So it's going to be interesting to see, and we expect a rather noisy crowd tomorrow, no doubt about it. Crowds have been good, though, been excellent, been sellouts, and lots going on outside the arena, too. By the way, this report brought to you by MBS International Airport, where you can fly from nearby. There are some special things happening today I want to make note of. The first one is that very famous Detroit Red Wings grind line featuring Chris Draper, Darren McCarty, Kurt Maltby. The 3 of them will be in the Fan Fest today signing autographs from 5 to 6 p.m. So if you ever wanted to meet 3 great hockey players from the Detroit Red Wings, here's your opportunity. And then the other thing that's happening today, and this is a change people should note, the NHL autographed jersey display and silent auction has moved from the Temple Theater now for the remainder of the Memorial Cup to the Dow Event Center atrium starting today. And they will be moving that display. As we speak right now, they're starting to do it. And it will be there today, tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday, all at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is where you can bid on these NHL jerseys worn by former OHL players. So it will open up at 4 o'clock today. It's in the glass atrium walkway between the atrium and the theater lobby. And it's just a fabulous display. And if you haven't seen, by the way, the NHL Hall of Fame display, the Hockey Hall of Fame display, it's something to see. It's more than just the NHL. Lots and lots and lots of the big trophies are there. And lots of educational information about hockey and the history of the game. So it's kind of a fun thing going on. And don't forget, Fan Fest opens up. And today, I believe today, Jedi Mind Trip is on the stage this afternoon at 4:30, presented by WNEM. So there's a lot going on, Matt.
I have a question for you. And Jonathan, being the Saginaw Spirit fan that you are, feel free to jump in. But is tomorrow perhaps the biggest game in the history of the Saginaw Spirit franchise?
You might say that. I mean, they've never played in the Memorial Cup before, so every game's been a milestone. But in this particular case, because of what happened in the conference finals, there is anticipation. Saginaw is hungry to get back at London, and this is going to be, everybody's hoping that both Saginaw and London make it through to the final game, because that will be the big one. But tomorrow, certainly, in the history of the Saginaw Spirit, there have been very few, if any, games as big as this one.
Yeah, so for our listeners, and Jonathan and Art, you guys are the experts, so correct me if I'm wrong. Tomorrow's really a de facto semifinal game for the winner only. So if a team wins tomorrow, they're on to the final on Sunday. They get to skip the semifinal. The loser goes into the semifinal Friday against the winner of Moose Jaw and Drummondville. So the next two nights are really a de facto quarterfinal and a de facto semifinal for one of the teams, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so
pretty much.
It's impossible not to think about, Saginaw winning and going to the Memorial Cup final. That's why I kind of hold that game as, hey, this is the greatest opportunity in the history of the franchise. And what's nice to know going into it is you have two shots at the apple to get to the final. That's kind of nice. You have to go 1 or 2 through the next two games to make it to the final. So it gives you a little bit of breathing room. But like you said, that semifinal against London was a complete war, very physical series. It was 4-2. We seem to be the only team that has any ability to even compete with London right now, let alone beat them.
In the playoffs, the only two games London lost were to Saginaw. They swept everything else.
Yeah, I was there Thursday at the Jolt Event Center when they announced the teams, and I don't know about anyone else, but I was just watching the players walk in, and Saginaw, Drummondville, and Moose Jaw, the boys physically looked very similar. And then London came through. And I was like, holy cow, is this an NHL team? Those guys are huge. That is a humongous hockey team. They have NHL size. It's not surprising with how physical they play. What do you think tomorrow? Is that going to be a little bit of a war on ice tomorrow night?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they are a very physical team, and Saginaw is a very skilled finesse team. But Saginaw can be physical if they have to be. And against London, you really need to have your forecheck, your back check in play because they're fast and they are very good at the forecheck and back check, and you need to be physical.
Yeah, and if there's one thing I think we've seen lately, when we are in the box, we've been giving up some goals on the power play. Yeah. And I don't think there's any question that we're kind of going to need to bolt that down a little bit and start clearing the puck. And, as always, when it comes to hockey, so much of it is a fortuitous bounce here, a fortuitous bounce there. We need a few lucky bounces when we're defending that power play to get the puck out of the zone. Maybe the steal comes in handy a few times and makes a few saves for us. But it seems to me if we can really start locking down on our penalty kill, we have a heck of a shot of advancing. And as we've been saying on our social media at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance in regard to the Spirit, why not us?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the keys is staying out of the penalty box. If you can do it. And it's been an interesting observation about the way the games are being called by the refs. They don't seem to be calling as many penalties as they might. You don't see too many tripping calls and things like that, yet there's a lot of it going on. You see it. But I think they get into these games and it's let the boys play up to a point. And last night we saw quite a few penalties, and probably most of them deserved. But it has been a little bit. It seems to me it's been a little looser calling than during the season.
Well,
and, Jonathan, what do you think? You've watched them.
I think that, they have been letting a little bit more slide when it comes to the tripping, the hooking, the holding, that kind of thing. But the roughing penalty calls, they've been trying to prevent anything from getting out of hand. They've been calling some pretty light roughing calls.
Yeah. I expect we will see that tomorrow, too, in the game between London and Saginaw.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a little bit of dancing on the ice last night from the London game. That physicality seemed to spill over, and the fist flew for a few minutes last night.
Yeah, there was actually a fight, which we haven't seen too many of even in the season. But there was a gloves-off fight right smack in the middle of the ice.
Well, it's going to be an exciting week. And folks, all week, Art is going to join us every day here at 9:10 as we kick off the show. Again, it's brought to you by MBS International Airport, where you can fly from nearby. Art, go get some rest. Huge week ahead.
Great idea. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
We'll be back after these messages.
The old saying, the bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low prices forgotten, applies today now more than ever. There are home improvement bargains everywhere, but are they really bargains? Hi, this is Greg Reamer. At Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, we believe that a true bargain is a quality product that provides years of trouble-free service. At Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, we believe in the products we sell, and we sell products to fit all budgets. After all, we have been selling and servicing the Tri-City area for 66 years. 66 years of replacing water heaters, faucets, toilets, bathtubs, sinks, cabinets, furnaces, sump pumps, and all other plumbing, heating, and cooling products for our customers. Our customers come to us for professional work and to find the best value when shopping for new products for their home or business. When you plan to invest in new plumbing, heating, or cooling products for your home, remember Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, your plumbing and heating neighbor for 66 years.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? A recent stash of 1881 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1881S silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. Only a limited quantity of these Morgan silver dollar coins are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-386-7194 and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1881S Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic S mint mark of the San Francisco Mint. But with limited quantity, you must call now. These 1881S silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 140 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-386-7194. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-386-7194 now to secure your 1881S Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-386-7194.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
T-Mobile is paying about $4.4 billion for almost all of U.S. Cellular, giving it 4 million new customers. The Wall Street Journal says U.S. Cellular caters to a base of mostly rural customers across several states, though U.S. Cellular says it will keep its portfolio of cell phone towers, some wireless spectrum licenses, and joint ventures with Verizon. Elon Musk's artificial intelligence startup xAI has raised $6 billion in funding from investors, including Sequoia Capital, Fidelity Management and Research, and others. It plans to use some of the money to step up research and development. There's a change in the way most securities and trades are completed. Starting today, the settlement period is shortened from 2 business days after the trade date to 1. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. Or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSGW online poll, Michigan joining a climate change lawsuit. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has announced plans to sue fossil fuel companies for what she says is knowingly causing climate change, harming the state's economy and ways of life. Michigan would be joining other states such as Minnesota, New Jersey, Vermont that have filed lawsuits. Nessel says it's long past time that we step up and hold the fossil fuel companies that are responsible for all these damages accountable. The American Petroleum Institute says the lawsuits are meritless, politicized, and against a foundational American industry and its workers, and that climate policy should be handled in Congress, not the courts. The poll question for you: should Michigan sue fossil fuel companies regarding Attorney General Nessel's claim about climate change? It's yes, it's no, it's I'm not sure. Head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and find the online poll box.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan filling in for Art as he is working over at the Memorial Cup throughout the week and is going to take the mornings off. So we're going to spend some time this week together and we're going to chat quite a bit about the Memorial Cup because this event is so big for Saginaw and the region. And we're going to mix it up with a little bit of content from across the region as well. And my next guest is actually a great combination of that. I'm joined by Justin Pomerville from UA Local 85. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I always think it's great to start. You know, clearly tons of people are familiar with you, but for those that are not, can you tell our listeners who exactly is UA Local 85?
Sure. We're the plumbers and steam fitters, HVACR service technicians in the northern half of the Lower Peninsula. So Local 85 represents everything basically north of Flint to the Mackinac Bridge, Traverse City to Alpena. Nearly 1,300 members in 29 and a half counties of plumbers, steam fitters, and HVACR service technicians.
Hey, Justin, for the folks around here, I'm sure they've seen you guys have one heck of an office that you've put quite a bit of money into. And training facility there on Bay Road. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. So we've been, we're the oldest still chartered union labor organization in the state of Michigan at 133 years old nearly. And we've been in Saginaw, based out of Saginaw, its entirety. So our training center is out on Weiss, almost to 47. And when we were expanding, we wanted to build or buy, and with as many places around Saginaw that needed some rejuvenation, we bought a building right here on Bay Road, 3535 Bay Road, and the old AM Church Supply or a furniture store before that, and renovated it and became an office and a meeting hall and just the community we live in, you know.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. I know when we're there and we're able to host events there, it's as good as it gets in the region. You guys really did an exceptional job with the facility.
Yeah, well, you know, it's the mantra that we carry. It's the quality work done right the first time, you know, and we try and do the best we can with what we got. And it's a showpiece and it's what we do. That plumbing and pipe fitting in the HVACR industry, our mechanical room in that building's all behind glass, and that's kind of our bread and butter. And what we do is the bones of the building and the guts of it and making it warm and making it cool. And here in northern Michigan, you know, you need a lot of that.
Yeah. So through the rest of the hour, I really kind of want to dive into that. But since we're really fresh from chatting with Art about the Memorial Cup, figure why don't we start there? And you guys really took on a massive sponsorship and really have stepped up as part of the Memorial Cup. You guys are the official Fan Fest sponsor here for the week. How did that come about? And what all does that entail, Justin?
Yeah, well, the masters of marketing that Craig Goslin and Kay they came to us, and obviously we wanted to be involved in some capacity. But as we evaluated what it was actually going to bring to the region, you know, we saw it as a huge opportunity more than anything to be a part of. And that it was an easy decision for us really to get involved. Is a biggest thing that's happened in my lifetime, sporting wise, and to the city of Saginaw. And I'm a Saginaw kid originally, and so to be involved in it from that level has been just amazing. To bring the people, to see downtown, to see the groups that have come out, and to see the community involvement. That's what we're about. We live here, we work here, we play here. We're going to spend our money here. And that's why we took on the Fan Fest sponsor. The Fan Fest sponsors everything outside. Dow sponsors the whole Memorial Cup, and everything inside. And UA Local 85 is really everything outside. It's all everything that's free, and it's a proud moment for us to be involved with the Fan Fest, because that's where the kids are enjoying. That's where the families are at. That's where they're walking around outside and actually getting to participate, whether or not they can get a ticket to the game or afford to be in there, or whatever transpires. They can still come down and still participate in something good going on downtown.
Yeah, you know what's great about you guys hosting the Fan Fest is you kind of look at it two ways, right? Number one, it's just the right thing to do for community. Someone had the opportunity to step up and say, hey, this is best for Saginaw, for the region. We want to come and sponsor it and do our part. It's not necessarily, oh, look, we're hosting this, so our workers now have 500 more jobs. That's not the case. This is truly a lot about giving back. But at the same time, it's something you can turn to your members and their families and say, hey, your local's hosting this. Here's something to go out. Here's what you can be a part of. And I have a sneaking suspicion you probably got a lot of your members into the doors and enjoying the games as well.
Yeah, we the sponsorship came with some different opportunities and some tickets, and we were fortunate enough to have one of the box suites for every game, and we've now given that to the Saginaw Future. For one game, we've given it to the Saginaw Labor Council for a game, and it's allowed really a lot of people to come together and enjoy this event. We've had different people in the suite every night, and our members have been in attendance along with helping. My apprentices ran down there the day before this opened, and they were putting the banners up all over. I have 200 apprentices going through our program right now, and they're just they're proud to be involved in it, but you really get some ownership over it when you're down there getting your hands dirty and helping. And that's where my members excel, is just to be a part of something that they can actually own and claim. We're the taste it, touch it, smell it type people. You can't just tell us about it. We got to really feel it and see it. And it's gotten the members involved at a different level, and they appreciate it. And we know the economy, that it's stimulating around here. We live in this community, we live in this county, and we live in Bay, Midland, Saginaw. 80% of my membership resides in those three counties, and that's the Great Lakes Bay region as a whole. So they're close, and they can get down there and get involved, and they can bring their kids. It's something we can do. These guys work hard every day, and sometimes that takes a toll on some family things. So when you get an event that you can take the family to and actually enjoy the time and promote the community, yeah, it's just a win-win all the way around.
So last question before we take a break is, you kind of look at Memorial Cup and what this has meant. What do you think the legacy is going to be once this is done? Because the community's really rallied behind Memorial Cup. Goose and Dick and Jimmy and Kayla and Kay, they've done a phenomenal job really building out this one-time event. But I think there's definitely a hope that maybe this is a starting point for some things. And I think we've seen some great investments, some pieces. What do you hope the legacy is?
I really hope that the legacy continues. That Saginaw got a bad rap for a few years there, we had a lot of industry in this town, and when there's not the good paying jobs around, you see a different group morph out of that, and sometimes it's some crime, and there's some problems. And the legacy I hope to see is that you see what Saginaw is for what it is, and that's good people, genuine people doing the right thing. And I hope that it brings more events. I think people get a glimpse of our region and see, like, holy cow, we never knew. And it's the only place in the state of Michigan you can take a boat 10 miles inland, 1,000-foot freighter all the way from Europe, and it's right here in Bay City through the mouth right into Saginaw, and it's right up to the Dow Event Center. So hopefully people really see what it is, bring some more people to visit. We're not a huge tourist destination, but we're a gem, and we're a diamond in the rough. And if people actually get to see that, business development here in the area. That's another, fold for us, is that somebody develops in this area, and they continue to put the money into the community that can continue to provide good paying jobs, and we can support.
Outstanding point. So we will be back after these messages.
Shopping for the best deals on appliances this Memorial Day? Look no further than Art Noe Appliance. They offer a wide range of top brand appliances such as KitchenAid, GE, Whirlpool, Maytag, Frigidaire, Cafe, Bosch, and more, all at unbeatable prices. Plus, with Art's exclusive warranty, you get peace of mind with an additional year of parts and labor warranty on select appliances. That's right, an extra year of protection at no extra cost. Need help with delivery and installation? Don't worry, their team of experts will ensure your new appliances are set up and working perfectly. Hunting even bigger discounts? Visit our outlet store, where you'll find amazing deals backed with manufacturer warranties. Don't miss Art Noe Appliances Memorial Day sale going on now. Visit any of their 3 locations in Saginaw, Frankenmuth, and the outlet store in Shields. Discover the best deals and experience the difference with Art Noe Appliance, where quality, service, and unbeatable prices come together.
For over 25 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner.
But did you know Tri-City Line-X is now ProLine Coatings? They offer rust proofing and undercoating too. Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
That's great news. Now, the guys at ProLine Coatings have the only wax-based, rust-proofing, and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because ProLine's rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Tri-City Line-X is now ProLine Coatings, and they're located on Wilder Road in Bay City. Give them a call at 989-671-9820.
They also offer Stone Guard for rocker panels and bumpers and floor coatings for snowmobile and UTV trailers.
Again, ProLine Coatings number in Bay City is 989-671-9820. That's 989-671-9820.
I'm pretty conservative. Many of us are here in rural America. We believe, and I believe, that we have a responsibility to care for not only for our families, but our communities. And this wind project is a great opportunity. It's roads, bridges, schools, things that we need around here. For people who are skeptical, come and see it. It is creating opportunities that we never had before.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
Looking for savings while filling up at the pump? Look no further than Fuel Rewards at one of our 26 local Forward Shell convenience stores. Get 10 cents off per gallon when you purchase any 3 Rockstar Energy 16-ounce drinks, or 10 cents off per gallon when you purchase any 2 Icebreakers Ice Cube 40 packs. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and learn more. Fuel Rewards at your local Forward Shell convenience stores, a family-owned Michigan tradition since 1925.
The 2024 Memorial Cup, sponsored by Dow, will feature 9 days of free outdoor live entertainment. Grab your family and friends and come down to the UA Local 85 Fan Fest to dance to tunes from local legends Larry McRae, The Voices, Todd Hall featuring Nameless, Jedi Mind Trip, and The Family Tradition. Country, blues, rock and roll, something for everyone at the Jolt Event Park in Riverfront, Saginaw, May 24th through June 2nd. Looking for your friends? They'll be at the Fan Fest. Want to know more? Visit 2024memorialcup.com for details. United, we soar.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. Or how much easier it is to move mountains of soil with a 1 Series tractor. We could even go into detail about how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, you just have to get in the seat. Learn more at johndeere.com/get-in-the-seat or visit a dealer near you.
Every goal, every hit, every save, every game of the 2024 Memorial Cup is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Tune in tonight at 7:15 for the Drummondville Voltigeurs versus the Moose Jaw Warriors.
It's the Stormmaster Exterior Studios of WSGW. And WSGW is online with Stormmaster Exteriors.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. AmericanCleanPowerSociation.com. So this is Matt Felan filling in for Art here this week, and I'm joined by Justin Pomerville with UA Local 85. And one thing Art and I talk about when I just come on the show to talk about anything related to STEM or talent in the region is kind of the windshield wiper effect of how students, especially at that secondary high school level, view education. It feels like we kind of go through a time when we're telling kids, everybody go get a 4-year degree. And then there seems to be a panic and it windshield wipers the other way. And we say, everyone needs to go into the skilled trades. And it kind of goes back and forth. And I think you and I both know we need both. You need a community where kids are seeking an education all across the board. But I think the big question I have for you is, what do you see in terms of student interest in the trades, and especially at Local 85? Are you seeing, kids coming out of high school really with a great desire to get in skilled trades? And do you feel like there's been a culture shift where parents view skilled trades? I think too often it was like one of those things where people were like, oh, well, they're going to go into the trades instead of they're going into the trades, right? There's a difference in how you say that. Do you feel like that culture shifted where people today are now seeing the benefits of going in, and just how's it going for you as you look at that talent?
Sure. We get a ton of interest. And we typically always have. So I don't know how much it's swung for us. The pay is good. The benefits are even better. So but where it's changed is at the school level with the counselors and in these schools. When I was in high school, it was everybody was going to college, and, a lot of people don't love school. And it was, wasn't really an alternative to the 4-year degree at that point from my guidance counselors. Not that they, no fault of their own, but what happened is now that they see the benefits, and I tell everybody, you let me talk to the mom and I'll get the kid, because mama wants her baby to have health care, right? They know that these good paying union jobs have health care, and they have a defined benefit pension. Ours is 30 and out. You can retire after 30 years of service. We're having people retire out at 48, 49 years old that are drawing a pension the rest of their lives and being able to retire with dignity. And they pay into that their whole lives. And it's not like it's not earned, but it's it's an alternative to that college type, and we need them both. You're absolutely right. 100%. You got to have a happy median of both people, types of people out there. There's people who don't want to work with their hands. There's people that don't like to build things. There's people who don't, just don't do that. There's people who want to sit at a desk or sit in a cubicle or on their computers, and those are the design people. We work hand in hand with the engineers, and they design it for us and we build it. And without both, nothing really ever gets built. But the school mindset has changed, and it's changed faster in Saginaw than the surrounding area, but it's leaking over to the other areas. The Saginaw Career Complex is we're heavily involved in, to send those students in 10th grade through the Saginaw Career Complex and see what the opportunities are out there. I said for a long time before I became the business manager of this local union that we were our own best kept secret. And unions made some mistakes. We were a closed door secret society of a country club, and we're out there promoting now, and we're letting people know that this is an opportunity, and you don't absolutely have to be related to anybody or have to know somebody to get in. Now it's an application process. It's fair, it's regulated, and now we're getting a ton of applicants, and we're getting a ton of good members. And I'm currently running about 200 apprentices in our program. They go to school one day every 2 weeks, and there's apprentices at our school every day, 30 or 40 of them, every day of the week, going to school and learning on the job and becoming highly successful.
Yeah, one of the things I've seen in the schools, and I think it's awesome, Bobby's the big football star, and they have the big signing day ceremony, and he's picking the hat, and everybody's there, and there's a fanfare. You're starting to see that with the trades when these kids are signing to go into one of the trades programs.
Yeah.
They're doing signing day ceremonies and really changing that culture where everyone goes, I feel like years ago, if I talked to a kid, they'd be like, oh, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I'm just going to be a welder. And you'd be like, just, what do you mean just? And I feel like today when you talk to a kid, hey, what are you going to do? They look at you chin up, and they look at you straight and go, oh, I'm going to be a plumber and a pipe fitter. And it's that culture really seems to have shifted.
Yeah, and it really has, and that's happened in the schools, and it's happened with our school boards. It's happened with the guidance counselors and the career navigators, and it's just a whole different mindset there. And the focus has been there to there's alternatives, and like I said, there should be options. What kid doesn't want to know earning potential? What kid doesn't want to know the opportunity that's out there to work, and people like being outside, or they like doing certain things, and that's a big part of it. And it really has. The tide has turned on that, and the interest is good. I think the public perception has changed a little bit. We're not your 1970s unions anymore, and wrong, right, or indifferent. Some things have changed with that. If you can't do it, you can't stay. And that's the mindset with all the trades, and that's where we've gotten to teaching and the students learning and getting to being employable. I can negotiate for more money when they're more employable, more tools in their box, and that's taken off. And to be honest with you, the young ones that I got, the students that are coming right out of high school, they get it. They know this is business. They know it's big business. 1,400 members making good wages ends up being, one of the larger employers in Saginaw County if you put them together. And there's some pride in it. And again, not to go back to the Fan Fest, but it's things like the Fan Fest that they can take pride in. They know they're downtown doing it. My apprentices put up all the graduation banners downtown for Pride Development, Saginaw Downtown Development. They put every banner up, and they call on my apprentices all the time because they bring their tools, they bring the ladders, and they're throwing them up, and they're straight getting it. And they take pride in that when they drive by. Every craftsman you have, the old joke used to be is if you're driving through Saginaw with your dad, I built that building. I built that building. I built that building. Now you get these young kids telling their friends, I put those banners up. I was at the Fan Fest. I'm part of the hockey thing. And when you make people part of things and they feel like they're winning, you get a lot more participation, and it's a good thing.
So we're going to take another break, but when we come back, you're going to tell our listeners how they can get involved at Local 85.
Summertime, the best time for being outdoors. Unless your knees, your shoulders, backs, hips, you got pain. You think you won't be able to enjoy the summer as much because of that pain, but you can. Hey, this is Charlie Rude with WSTW. I'm here to tell you about QC Kinetics offering non-surgical joint pain relief. QC Kinetics has advanced treatments that harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. What that means is you can walk, you can run, you can hike, play golf, all those outdoor things you can do, and all do it pain-free. QC Kinetics, under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, tens of thousands of patients have reclaimed their mobility, and you can too. You do it by taking that first step. That first step is to call QC Kinetics, and you get a free consultation. You call 810-243-8529. That's 810-243-8529. Live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics, that free consultation, 810-243-8529.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. Made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Visit Saginaw's historic Temple Theater during the 2024 Memorial Cup, presented by Dow. Learn about the Saginaw Spirit's journey to host the Memorial Cup by watching the docuseries Spirit Rising. It's free of charge and happening right here in Riverfront, Saginaw, May 24th through June 2nd. Go behind the scenes with the team and experience the season's highs and lows. New episodes airing daily and play every 30 minutes. Don't miss out on the chance to bid on authentic autographed jerseys from key CHL players, past and present. Learn more at 2024memorialcup.com. United we soar.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMSS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at Quick Lane Freeland next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. This is where you can get all of your routine maintenance done. Oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, and they work on all makes and models of cars, not just Fords. Chevys, Toyotas, Hondas, Jeeps, Dodge, you name it. They keep them all in tip-top shape. And here is a tip from Quick Lane Freeland.
Do you suffer from allergies? Did you know FrigiFresh kills germs in your vehicle's air conditioning system? FrigiFresh is a hospital-grade disinfectant that controls pollen, molds, and mildew inside your car. It's only $20 and takes less than 10 minutes for the treatment. You can get FrigiFresh at Quick Lane next to McDonald Ford in Freeland. Just stop in. No appointment needed.
Quick Lane Freeland, right next to McDonald Ford, working on all makes and models of cars.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan filling in for Art here this week. And I'm joined this morning by Justin Pomerville from Local 85. So Justin, I think here is a question for our listeners that, yeah, they're driving around today, they're at work. They have a son or a daughter, they have a grandchild, and they're thinking to themselves, wow, you know, I really want to get my child or my grandchild into the trades, but I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to tell them or what guidance I give them. So for the folks that are listening this morning, if they're interested and they want their child, or heck, maybe it's they themselves that are listening and they think, you know, this is a new opportunity. I need a career change. How do they get engaged? How do they become part of your program? And really, can you walk us through then how that process would work?
Sure. So we're in it right now, the application process, but we accept applications year round. You can do it online. There's several things you have to provide: your high school transcripts, copy of your driver's license, birth certificate, GED or equivalent. And then we utilize the work keys, and it takes 4 or higher on the work keys. And you take those at Michigan Works or at Delta College, and that's really it. And you get those submitted either online or in person. And like I said, we accept applications year round. And then we are driven by the industry. So we put on apprenticeship classes or put people on as needed. And we're in the process of that right now with some of the big work coming. Obviously, there's a need for more members and more plumber, pipe fitter, HVAC, our service technician, welders. And so there's it's a fairly simple process for UA Local 85 plumbers and steam fitters, but I serve double duty. I'm also the president of the Tri-County Building Construction Trades Council, which is all the crafts. So there's 14 electricians and the operators and the iron workers and insulators and you name them, laborers, they're all there, and they all look pretty similar. So it's not just the plumbers and pipe fitters and HVAC, our service technicians that I represent, but all of them are have a similar process. And it's an application. It takes by actually stopping or getting online and filling out an application, and then just stopping and talking to somebody. Our website's a great tool to just go. If you Google Local 85, it comes up, and go through our website and see what we actually do. Because there's a lot of things that my members work on that the average person in the public might not know. They work on stuff is technical and as extreme as like the Dow Chemicals of the world, and they have some things that are one in the worlds in Dow Chemical, the 500-ton centrifugal chillers, all the way down to doing setting toilets in houses and doing residential. So we the bulk of our work happens in the industrial world, the HSCs and the Consumers Energies and the Dow Chemicals and the Michigan Sugars, all the same people that you deal with on a daily basis. But we built these facilities and we maintain these facilities. But it goes, we do the the HVAC in the Dow Event Center. The ice is we're in the process of discussing right now how to make the ice harder and faster. So we're trying to come up with a new filtration system that the plumbers can install for Dick Garber and Craig Goslin's request, because we have a fast team, and the faster the ice, the better off we do. So if we can make the ice a little faster and harder, and that comes from the union plumbers and steam fitters, we're going to do what we can do to help.
You got a way to slow down London as part of this as well? Is there a way that we can get them slogging a little bit more through some choppy ice?
Yeah, I'd like to say yes on that, but I got all the confidence in the world in the Spirit against London. I don't think that that they're that mismatched or London's that good. I think that losing the goalie in that series, losing Oak in the London series was major, and I think the Spirit are going to come out and they're going to show you some things tomorrow night.
Well, I am looking forward to it. We're going to be there. Should be a great night. Hey, Justin, thanks for joining us. Thanks, I think, most importantly, for sponsoring Memorial Cup, and enjoy the rest of the week.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
The Michigan Antique Festival and Vintage Market is back. It's a Michigan tradition since 1968 for antique lovers, and now it's coming back Saturday and Sunday, June 1st and 2nd at the Midland County Fairgrounds. Explore 80 acres of treasures and memories. High-quality dealers selling antiques, collectibles, crafts, coins, sports memorabilia, vintage jewelry, and just cool stuff you won't find anywhere else. Check out the Taste of Michigan with unique treats from all across the state. And car collectors, or would-be car collectors, bring your classic car or shop for one at our sale lot. The Michigan Antique Festival features one of Michigan's longest-running car shows. The first 300 cars get a dash plaque. Looking for car parts or outdoor power toys? Visit the huge swap meet. Nearly 1,000 antique dealers will be at the fairgrounds. So should you. Admission is just $10 for a weekend pass. Parking is free. Children 11 and under are free. If you're looking for a unique event that has something for everyone, be sure to check out the Michigan Antique Festival at the Midland Fairgrounds, June 1st and 2nd.
Jim Wilson, are you going viral?
What? Really? Do I need a vaccine?
No, not that kind of viral. Your Ford dealership in Saginaw, Wilson Ford Lincoln, is all over social media with comments like best car buying experience ever. And Wilson Ford just picked my car up for service. But this one's my favorite. They gave me way more for my trade-in than anywhere else we looked.
That's wonderful. I'm happy to hear customers are enjoying their experience with us.
Jim, what makes a Wilson Ford experience different from other dealers?
It's really simple. We have always specialized in selling every vehicle for as little as possible, not as much as possible, paying top dollar for trade-ins, and making financing painless, transparent, and simple.
And how do you explain this comment? First time at a dealership, they actually listen to me.
We listen, and we do as we promise, and we think you'll like that.
For the very best automotive experience, visit Wilson Ford Lincoln on Bay Road in Saginaw or wilsonford.com. Nobody sells for less.
Ground ball to second base, gathered up by Keith. Tobias to first. Inning ending. 4-6-3 double play.
The Tigers play 6:15 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
That's all for this hour of the Art Lewis Show, presented by West Side Decorating Center. I want to thank Art for joining us for the MBS Memorial Cup update, as well as Justin Pomerville from Local 85 talking about FanFest and their great apprenticeship programs. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to learn all about the Chief Science Officer program, but before that is the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Former President Donald Trump weighs in before entering a New York courthouse ahead of closing arguments at his criminal hush money trial.
It's a very sad day. This is a dark day in America. We have a rigged court case that should have never been brought, and it should have been brought in another jurisdiction.
Mr. Trump, surrounded by 3 of his adult children, Columbia Law School's Caroline Polisi.
Here, it's a pearl necklace that each side is going to take strands, pearls, evidence from each of the witnesses, and string them along their necklace to place on a platter to jurors so that when they get back there in that jury deliberation room, they have everything they want to check the box.
The arguments now underway and deliberations could begin as early as this afternoon. The Supreme Court has just declined to hear a bid by attorney Michael Avenatti to overturn his conviction for defrauding a client and extorting tens of millions of dollars from Nike. The ruling does not deal with his conviction for duping his former client Stormy Daniels, who's at the center of the Trump hush money trial. Avenatti was sentenced to a total of 14 years in prison. The Pope is apologizing for using a gay slur in a meeting behind closed doors.
The Vatican has just released a statement saying that the Pope never intended to express himself in homophobic terms and that he apologizes to those who felt offended. When asked at the Italian Bishops' Conference recently if openly gay men should now be allowed to become priests, Pope Francis reportedly said no and added that the church already had too much of an air of, and then he used an off-color Italian word used about gay men. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
There's a primary runoff in Texas today with 7 GOP congressional nominations up for grabs. Reporter Chris Fox has details from Austin.
Incumbent Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez of San Antonio is facing a fight for the party nomination against Second Amendment activist YouTuber Brandon Herrera, known online as the AK guy.
Tony Gonzalez, an establishment Republican who voted with Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi on gun control.
The district includes Uvalde, Texas, the site of the deadliest school shooting in state history.
Melinda French Gates says she's setting her own agenda for giving. In an op-ed in the New York Times, Bill Gates' ex says she'll spend over $1 billion over the next 2 years on behalf of women and families around the world, including reproductive rights. One of the most disliked umpires in Major League Baseball is calling it a career.
Kyle Schwarber thrown out after being punched out by Angel Hernandez.
62-year-old Hernandez, who's been blasted by players, coaches, and fans alike for controversial calls, is retiring. Dow down 150. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your home and auto. Save when you bundle. Get a quote at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
Save big money on your next project right now at Menards. Lock in great savings with our huge selection of electronic lock sets. Get the classic touchscreen deadbolt by TrueBolt that features one-touch locking and has 50 programmable user codes. Available in matte black and satin nickel. Save big money on TrueBolt lock sets. Visit the store at Menards.com to see all our great deals going on now in our weekly flyer.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included with the activation of a Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Requires in-store activation. Device offer ends 6/9/24. Taxes and fees apply.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 62 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A Farwell man was injured last Thursday in Isabella County after crashing his motorcycle into a semi-truck. Police say the 26-year-old man was riding a 2015 Yamaha on Coleman Road at Fordyce Road in Gilmore Township around 9:45 a.m., traveling at a high rate of speed. The man crested a rise and could not slow down in time for a 2007 Freightliner semi that pulled into his path, skidding into the truck, according to police. He was taken to Ascension St. Mary's Hospital in Saginaw by helicopter with life-threatening injuries. Police say the semi-driver, a 64-year-old Vestaburg man, was uninjured. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, in partnership with Michigan Saves, is offering financing for the replacement of failing or near-failing septic systems through the Septic Replacement Loan Program, or SRLP. The program provides low-interest financing options for loans up to $50,000. The SRLP is divided into two tiers: income-based financing, or Tier 1, and market-based loans, or Tier 2. You can get up to $30,000 for Tier 1 and $50,000 per project for Tier 2, with rates, terms, and loan amounts varying. To be eligible, septic systems must be permitted by local health department in accordance with EGLE's program minimum standards and be installed by a Michigan Saves authorized septic installation contractor. Visit michigansaves.org/septic for more information. Local businesses in Saginaw are meeting visitors to the Memorial Cup with a ready welcome. Here's Michigan News Source's Erica Kaiba.
The SRVC Marketplace is hosting its Shop Sensational event through May 30th. Customers can choose from at least 50 boutiques, according to WNEM. The influx of visitors should boost local businesses. For Michigan News Source, I'm Erica Kaiba.
WSGW News Time 10:07.
For over 25 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner.
But did you know Tri-City Line-X is now Pro-Line Coatings? They offer rust-proofing and undercoating too. Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
That's great news. Now, the guys at Pro-Line Coatings have the only wax-based, rust-proofing, and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty. No yearly touch-ups required.
And because Pro-Line's rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Tri-City Line-X is now Pro-Line Coatings, and they're located on Wilder Road in Bay City. Give them a call at 989-671-9820.
They also offer Stone Guard for rocker panels and bumpers and floor coatings for snowmobile and UTV trailers.
Again, Pro-Line Coatings number in Bay City is 989-671-9820. That's 989-671-9820.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is next. The theme of the 2024 Mackinac Policy Conference is Bridging the Future Together. Hundreds of businesses, community, and political leaders head to Mackinac Island today for the conference. The three-day event will feature politicians like Senators Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters, national journalists, and even business leaders. The event runs until Friday at the Grand Hotel. State officials are recommending avoiding foam on water bodies. Here's Michigan News Network's Ingrid Kelly.
As summer approaches, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services recommends residents and visitors avoid coming in contact with foam on Michigan water bodies, such as lakes, rivers, and streams. That's because some foam can contain chemicals or bacteria, which includes high levels of PFAS. Researchers say PFAS is linked to liver damage, among other medical conditions. Ingrid Kelly, Michigan News Network.
The severe weather that hit Michigan within the past couple of days spawned a gustado near Grand Rapids. The National Weather Service says while most people had heavy rain, lightning, and wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour, a gustado carrying winds of around 60 miles an hour hit an area between Forest Hills, Caledonia, and Middleville. Forecasters say a gustado was a small whirlwind, and yesterday, along portions of the leading edge of the storm's front, several whirlwinds formed and enhanced wind speeds on smaller scale to severe levels of about 60 miles an hour. There was some tree damage and power outages reported. WSGW News Time at 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms here for today with cloudy skies and a high into the lower 70s. Winds out of the west around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, cloudy sky conditions, and a low near 53. Wednesday, skies become mostly sunny, high of 64 degrees. Then for your Thursday, mostly sunny skies, a high around 67. Friday, sunshine high around 76. Then by Saturday, partial sunshine develops a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast.
Currently, it's 64.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome back to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Swan of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art the rest of the week here, today through Friday. And I think I mentioned the first hour, we're going to do a little bit of work in terms of splitting up a lot of updates and information about the Memorial Cup taking place in downtown Saginaw. And we're going to mix that with some content from across the Great Lakes Bay region. So really looking forward to a fun week as Art is out every evening working at the Memorial Cup. So he's kind of balancing his time and balancing it by giving me to all of you for a few days. We're going to have fun. Before we jump into our guests for the second hour, Jonathan and I were chatting, though. A night like tonight is a pretty big night on the air, as the two sister stations will have competing sports on at the same time. So if I have it right, Jonathan, on 790 WSGW will be coverage of the Memorial Cup. 7:30 game tonight between Drummondville and Moose Jaw, which is the de facto quarterfinal game, with the winner advancing to the semifinal on Friday.
It's an elimination game.
Whoever
loses, they're done.
They're done. You know, the one thing I've been disappointed on so far is I thought Moose Jaw would come with a whole bunch of Moose Jaw clothing for the region. We'd all get a whole bunch of cool Moose Jaw gear.
I love the name of the city being Moose Jaw.
I think pretty cool, isn't it?
Very Canadian.
Yeah, but you also have to tell me it's the Drummondville
Voltigeurs.
What is a voltiger?
It is a French. This is like my nerd stuff. It is a French light infantryman from the 18th, 19th century who they were kind of the scout snipers.
Oh, interesting. And then I have a question because I haven't been around the boys. Do the boys from Drummondville speak French, English, or both?
Some of them are just a little bit of both. Yeah, there's bilingual, I know. I haven't been around them either, but I've heard interviews and stuff. And but like it's funny because you'll hear like Savoy and there's a bunch of French names, and then there's like Luke Woodworth is another player on their team. So it's an interesting mix there.
I love it. So then simultaneously, coverage starting at 6:40 tonight and 100.5. Your Detroit Tigers with a shot to get back to 500. They had a nice weekend sweep of the Blue Jays. Yesterday, I got a good kick out of it. They kicked the field goal in the ninth inning to win 14-11. It was a ridiculous game as we were up 8-3, and then found ourselves trailing late. But the boys are starting to hit the ball, and if they could mix in a little bit of the hitting with the pretty good pitching we've had all season, I'm telling you, there's a chance. There's a chance, folks. I will take 500 much more than I will the Detroit Pistons 2-80 record. So we will get what we can get, but we're rooting hard for the boys. But for our listeners, a lot of sports on our two stations here tonight. So this hour, we are going to chat STEM education. I'm joined by the team from STEM SVSU, Jake Lounsbury, the STEM outreach coordinator, and Ty Jarvis, the CSO student specialist. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So, Jake, for our listeners, I love to start big picture. What exactly is STEM at SVSU, and can you even kind of define for our listeners what does STEM mean at SVSU?
So STEM, well, first of all, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. So this has become a very important combination of things that we're looking for in our job market. So as we look at the future and what we need for our workforce, STEM is the answer. STEM at SVSU is driven to do outreach to, I say, K to gray. We have a lot of K-12 outreach, but then we also reach out beyond that to those people that are trying to maybe change careers or level up or whatever you want to call it, but to get them excited about STEM early. So we find that students are making decisions on what their careers are, and they're getting excited because of experientation. This is how we do it. So we create different opportunities on campus and around the area that get kids excited about STEM. And the sky is the limit, right? Like, it can be a night where we're talking about medical stuff and doing some cool things, maybe in partnership with Covenant. We could be doing something with biologists from the DNR. It just varies as to what we do with the students, but it's just to get them excited.
And Jake, Saginaw Valley really was an early adopter of all things STEM. The great and illustrious Carolyn Weirda was in that role once upon a time. Our good friend Adrian Cole. But SVSU has really made significant investments and has really kind of bent over backwards to be a leader in STEM education nationally, don't you think?
Yeah. And I've got to play a role from that on both sides of the coin. And we can talk about that a little bit, but SVSU has, from the beginning, as STEM was adopted, even before that, they had the Math and Science Center, which was all the way into the 90s. Like, I remember as a kid showing up to a Math and Science Center event that my mother was part of. And so it's been really cool to watch that progress. And SVSU, it's not just about SVSU's investment, but because of the energy SVSU is spending, we have a lot of companies and other partners coming in and partnering with us as a joint venture to really create these experiences and really look at what we need in the region.
So, Ty, you are a CSO, which means a Chief Science Officer, student specialist. But in terms of Chief Science Officers, for our listeners that are hearing this term for the very first time, like, wait a minute, that sounds, didn't they report to Spock and Captain Kirk on the Enterprise? What is a Chief Science Officer?
Yeah, so a Chief Science Officer, we like to refer to them as a student ambassador. So it's not just all science. Our goal in the program is to turn these students into leaders in their schools and their communities. So we have students between 6th and 12th grade who go through this program and come out an entirely different person. We are helping them break through their shells and then break through walls. They are taking the next steps in our community to network with the various companies in our region and help spread STEM awareness in their schools, communities, however they feel they can make their biggest impact.
So here in our region, we have 2 Chief Science Officer programs. So we have the initial cohort that was developed at SVSU, which really kind of serves the east side of the Great Lakes Bay region.
Yes.
Bay, Saginaw, Midland, kind of adjacent counties. We go into the thumb, a little bit north, a little bit south. And then the region has started a cohort in the west side of the region in Isabella County at Central Michigan University, serving kind of the Isabella, Clare, Gratiot, Gladwin communities. For our listeners, how many students are currently going through the Chief Science Officer program at SVSU? And let's look at it in 2 ways, because we're at this unique time where the school year is just ending this week and next week. So how many did we have go through for the 23-24 school year? And do you have your cohort in place for 24-25?
So the cohort right now is signing up. A lot of the students will return, but we get new students every year. We're actually adding several students. This year we were just short of 100. The overall region, CMU's project is a little bit smaller, but they're more rural, so they don't have quite the population density. They're sitting around 40. So it was a really good year for us. We had, 130, 140 students total in the region. Next year, we're looking at, for us alone, not including other things that are about to happen, about 115 students, 120. So, and then CMU's growing their program as well. So we'll probably be closer to 200 next year.
So for someone that's listening right now, they're in their office and thinking, wow, Sally loves science and math. And she's a 7th grader at, whatever school in Saginaw. How does Sally learn more about this program or potentially apply to be a part of it? Well, for those that are listening and think, hey, this is a really cool opportunity, how do they go about this process?
So the first thing they need to do is find out if there's a CSO program already running in their school. We're not in every school yet. I can't wait to be in every school in the region, but they need to find that out. They can reach out to us and we can let them know, because we'll attach them to the advisor if there is one. If there isn't a CSO program there, we'll work through them to get connected to the administration to get one started. So that's the biggest thing. The CSO program is limited in size. It's kind of a prestigious role, if you will. So I shouldn't say kind of, it is a prestigious role. And, there's only 2 to 4 per school usually. So it's something that you have to apply for and really try out. The nice thing about the CSO program, because the CSOs, the chief science officers, are engaging their peers, is if there's someone interested in it and maybe they're not a CSO this year, they can help the CSO and be part of that process and then kind of level up themselves.
Yeah, I got to tell you. So I get to wear various hats through the course of a day. Sometimes they even let me host the show for Art when he's out. And I get to do a lot of fun things. But one of the things that I love to do, I'm a school board member in Bay City. And we're incredibly proud of our CSOs from Bay City Handy and Bay City Western middle schools, and then Bay City Central and Bay City Western high schools. And I've had a chance to watch these kids through the years. And I get the extreme privilege of speaking to the cohort every August. And I've watched these kids grow through the years. And Ty, you said it right. I watch them just come out of their shells and their ability to communicate and their ability to interact. My favorite moment ever still, it was Halloween maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And there were a bunch of high school students that were out trick-or-treating. And you get the door, and the one dude takes off his mask and goes, "Hey, you're the STEM guy from the CSO program." And so I've started to run into the kids all over the place. But it really is a dynamic program that I can only speak from our district. I couldn't imagine us not being a part of the CSO program. So for any other district that's listening, I don't mean to peer pressure you, but I'm going to. If you don't have a CSO program, your time is now. What can a school do if they want to start their own CSO program? And they're listening right now in their office going, doggone Matt Felan, he's making a sign up for this. What do we have to do? How do they go about that?
So they email us, right? Like that, you reach out to me and we will make it happen. It is stem@svsu.edu is the generic email. I'd spell mine out, but you can find us right on. You put STEM@SVSU in the SVSU website, we come right up. But reach out to us and we'll get you started. This is the optimal time. This is when we're doing our recruiting for next year and everything else. So if they're interested, now is the time.
Well, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to learn more about chief science officers.
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. The little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
I'm Lauren Simonetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are mixed after being closed Monday for Memorial Day. The Dow lost ground in early trading. The Nasdaq rose to an intraday high, and the S&P showed modest gains. Apple shares are up more than 0.5% after reports that iPhone sales in China recently rose sharply. T-Mobile is buying most of U.S. Cellular. Shares of U.S. Cellular rose more than 10%. NVIDIA shares up more than 4% after news that Elon Musk's artificial intelligence startup XAI received more than $6 billion in additional funding. And GameStop shares are up 11%. The video game retailer sold 45 million shares on Friday, which will be used for general corporate purposes. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/surface.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, summer is our season. And we're kicking it off with a free 12-ounce Island Punch smoothie for National Flip Flop Day. Grab your flip-flops and head to your local cafe on May 29th from 2 to 7 p.m. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
I'm sure this is not the only online source, but I'll pick on USA Today. The countdown to Memorial Day is on. Plenty of our favorite retailers already celebrating with incredible early Memorial Day sales. At what point did they mention? Let's find out. So the first point is, when is Memorial Day? Well, that's not a bad start. On the last Monday in May, to be exact. Some sales are already underway. Again, I ask, when did they talk about the reason for Memorial Day? What stores have Memorial Day sales? From big box stores to specialty shops will offer Memorial Day sales. And again, I ask, at what point do they mention the reason for Memorial Day? When do memorial sales end? That's the next point. And I ask just one more time, at what point do they remind us what Memorial Day is all about? 4, 5, 6, 7. About the 10th point, what is Memorial Day? An annual event recognizing and honoring fallen U.S. military personnel. I did the last one on the list. You'd like to have them say at some point, and it's because of Memorial Day that we were allowed to have these special sales and these summers and 3 days weekends. But
Your morning team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. So this is Matt Felan. I'm filling in for Art here this week. And this hour, we are chatting with our friends from STEM at SVSU, Jake Lounsbury and Ty Jarvis, and talking about specifically the Chief Science Officer program. And we have a big event coming here to the Great Lakes Bay region and SVSU in June with a CSO Student Congress. Jake, what are we hosting? Who's all coming to SVSU and what does this mean to the region?
So, well, this is huge on multiple levels. So the Chief Science Officer program since 2017 has been at Saginaw Valley, and then it spread to CMU. It has not gotten outside of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. This year, the state, through the ACA grant and the Science and Technology or Science and Engineering Consortium, is going to fund CSO to be through the entire state. So all 16 MySTEM regions, from as far as you can get to the UP all the way down to Detroit, are going to have chief science officers in them. This Congress is the first of its kind. We're really going to be looking to elevate student voice, and it's going to be that initial grand start for the CSO program in each of these regions. So we're going to take 8 to 10 students from each region, bring them here to the local area. They're going to get to work on campus and do some really cool activities, go through the Leadership Training Institute for the CSOs, and meet some community leaders as they go about it. and then they're going to have some fun and get to spend the night and do some cool stuff like that. So it's going to be huge is what it is, but it's like I said, the first ever. So we're looking at really elevating that voice and making an effort to bring all the students to the table.
So one thing I love about this region, I think sometimes we take it for granted. There are times when we are last and we are late adopters. Chick-fil-A being built on Tidwawasee. That's a great example. Like, hey, we finally got a Chick-fil-A coming, right? It took a while, but hey, we got one, right? But there are times, and I don't know if people really realize this, but in STEM education is a great example. We're the early adopter, but we're just not the early adopter. We're the leader. We're a cutting edge leader. And in the case of CSOs, tell me if I'm wrong, but it started in Arizona, correct?
Yes.
And weren't we really the second major community outside of Arizona, or did someone else sneak in? But we were among the first communities nationally, correct?
So the whole story behind it started in Arizona in 15. In 17, it spread to 4 states. Michigan, Oregon, Georgia, and Florida. Cold start in Florida, didn't take off like we wanted it to. But then in 2017, it moved to Kuwait as well. One of the reasons it moved to Kuwait is what was happening here in Michigan. Like they saw it, they thought it was cool, and they're like, "Hey, can you come over and check us out?" So that was the real start. I will say, and I'm very proud of this. Like I was part of SciTech and the organization that ran Chief Science Officers on the outside, and now that I'm here, a lot of what we do in Chief Science Officer was adopted from things that we did here in the state and changed it. Like it started out as a certain program. Once it got into the open, Michigan, Adrian Cole was really instrumental in, hey, we need to change this. We need to do this. You need to streamline. And a lot of that came through right down to our award ceremony. That was a Michigan first.
I love it. So Ty, you have been actively engaged with the Chief Science Officer program for quite some time. Tell our listeners, when did you first start the being involved as a Chief Science Officer, and talk about your journey through the CSO program?
Yeah, so about 5 years ago, as a sophomore at Carleton High School, I was approached by my science teacher of this program. I had seen some of the older students join the first year, and he's like, "I think you'd be a great addition as we're losing a few students." And from there, I became a Chief Science Officer at Carleton High School. I was a part of the program for 2 years and kind of began, like we said earlier, broke that shell from around myself, began to be able to network and communicate with professionals and companies and things like that. After I graduated, it was kind of a little downtime, wasn't really keeping up with the program. I went to SVSU to further my education, and I ran into Adrian again and kind of got right back into the CSO role. I started at STEM at SVSU in May of 2022, kind of doing some behind the scenes work for CSO, helping out. Later on that summer at the STEM Ecosystem Conference we held here in Bay City, I was approached by CSO International, and I began working there as well, kind of running all alumni for all of CSO International. And I've just continued to grow my workability here at STEM at SVSU. I've kind of now helped Jake work on the CSO Youth Congress we got coming up and just expanded my role.
Yeah, you are the example of what we're looking for when we think of a student. I'll tell you, Carleton High School, I think, has been one of the great partners we've had as part of CSO. We've had dynamic students come out of Carleton. I give Carleton all the credit in the world. Their administration, their teachers, their counselors, they have fully embraced this program, and they have quite honestly given us some of the shining jewels. I always laugh. Emily, who went through the program from day one and who we're all going to have to work for someday because she's so brilliant and she's off doing things. It's been phenomenal to watch. So I'm glad that you've continued to be a part of it. And, I think for our listeners, they may not fully understand. So how do you bring a program like this here? How do we find out? For those of you that are listening, our region is an 8-county, what we call STEM ecosystem. So it's Bay, Saginaw, Midland, Isabella, and then Clare, Gladwin, Gratiot, and Aranet counties. And we work among those 8 counties in what we call the STEM ecosystem, where we share best practices, programs, disruptive programs. We can bring in programs like code.org to bolster coding opportunities in our schools, so that there's a program that a school can put in place with having teachers that can deliver the program, but not necessarily have to be that ultra trained professional in computer science, because they're so hard to find. And we're part of an international ecosystem program with about 120 different ecosystems across the world now. And we're able to find these opportunities. And specifically, we found the Chief Science Officer program from being a part of that. So oftentimes when I'm doing this show, people are like, so what's the importance of regionalism? Here's a great example. If we did not work regionally, if we did not have the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, if we did not have STEM as one of the pillars of work that we do, we would then not be in a position to bring a program like Chief Science Officers back here. And then it goes down into the schools, right? Now we're talking about it being in Bay City Public Schools down to 6th grade because we work together regionally. And I think sometimes some of those things are hard to see, and this is a great example of exactly our impact. So we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we want to hear more about both STEM at SVSU and the Chief Science Officer program.
Shopping for the best deals on appliances this Memorial Day? Look no further than Art Noe Appliance. They offer a wide range of top brand appliances such as KitchenAid, GE, Whirlpool, Maytag, Frigidaire, Cafe, Bosch, and more, all at unbeatable prices. Plus, with Art's exclusive warranty, you get peace of mind with an additional year of parts and labor warranty on select appliances. That's right, an extra year of protection at no extra cost. Need help with delivery and installation? Don't worry, their team of experts will ensure your new appliances are set up and working perfectly. Hunting even bigger discounts? Visit our outlet store, where you'll find amazing deals backed with manufacturer warranties. Don't miss Art Noe Appliances Memorial Day sale going on now. Visit any of their 3 locations in Saginaw, Frankenmuth, and the outlet store in Shields. Discover the best deals and experience the difference with Art Noe Appliance, where quality, service, and unbeatable prices come together.
Summertime, the best time for being outdoors. Unless your knees, your shoulders, backs, hips, you got pain. You think you won't be able to enjoy the summer as much because of that pain, but you can. Hey, this is Charlie Rood with WSGW. I'm here to tell you about QC Kinetics offering non-surgical joint pain relief. QC Kinetics has advanced treatments that harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. What that means is you can walk, you can run, you can hike, play golf, all those outdoor things you can do, and all do it pain-free. QC Kinetics, under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, tens of thousands of patients have reclaimed their mobility, and you can too. You do it by taking that first step. That first step is to call QC Kinetics, and you get a free consultation. You call 810-243-8529. That's 810-243-8529. Live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics, that free consultation, 810-243-8529.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The WSGW Westside Decorating Invitational is back, powered by Branham's Jewelry. The Sawmill is the place to be Tuesday, June 25th, for this 4-person best ball event for only $250 per team. Winning team will receive an overnight stay and golf package at Shanty Creek Resort. Thanks to Buck Insurance, you have a chance to win $10,000 for a hole-in-one on the designated hole, plus longest drive for both men and women, sponsored by JJ's Roadhouse, and tons of other prizes. The WSGW Westside Decorating Invitational, powered by Branham's Jewelry, Tuesday, June 25th. Register now at WSGW.com as spots will fill up fast.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
From the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, you are listening to 100.5 FM and 790 AM. And from Stormmaster Exteriors, you are listening online at WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. And we are here with Jake from SVSU and Ty from SVSU, talking about the Chief Science Officer program. So I'm going to go back to, what it means for our local students to be a part of the program. It seems like there's a mix when you're part of the program of responsibilities you have within your own school. You're that Chief Science Officer. You're one of X number of people representing your school. But then you also have an opportunity to network and with the full cohort from across the region, but you also get to see a lot of things from across the region. And there are field trips and on-site visits. Walk us through, what does a year look like for a Chief Science Officer? What are the various activities? Where are places to go? And Ty, since you are a Chief Science Officer, what are some of the most memorable experiences you had?
Yeah, so starting off in August, we host our initial leadership training. So there we will have all of our students travel to Saginaw Valley State University for a 2-day training where they will go through all of the initial sessions to learn about a Chief Science Officer, some of the tasks they need to fulfill throughout the year, and kind of just making that initial mark on increasing their confidence and helping them be able to communicate with adults and professionals in the Great Lakes Bay region. For some of our more veteran students who have been in the program multiple years, they actually have the opportunity to lead these sessions. So we have students teaching students, which is a big deal because no one likes to see people like me or Jake stand in front of the classroom and teach these students, tell them what to do like they're sitting in a normal classroom. They are learning from their own peers and getting an opportunity to see what they can become in a few years. So that is just a huge first step for our Chief Science Officers. But from there, then we have 2 cabinet meetings, which are like our field trips. And we have been to some remarkable places. We have traveled to MDOT, got to walk inside the Zilwaukee Bridge. We've been to Hemlock Semiconductor and did some tours around their facilities. We've been to Dow, next year, Michigan Sugar. We have been everywhere around this region, and we're only continuing to expand on that as well. And then throughout that year, in between each field trip cabinet meeting, our students are also working on their action plans. And so that is their one major task throughout the CSO year, is they are working to find a way to spread STEM in their school or community, which could be doing demonstrations like little experiments with elementary students, or even as big as we have students work with the local airport in Midland and host a community flight night where they had over 200 children and families attend this airport to learn about aviation. So there's a wide range of action plans that these CSOs are doing to spread STEM in their community, schools. And then lastly, we finished the year with a celebration to just acknowledge all the hard work these students put in throughout the year.
Well, that's awesome. And so, Jake, you have a great opportunity here. He spoke about a few of the places that they've been able to visit.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your chance to talk to the masses and add a little peer pressure. Where else would you like to take these students here in the years ahead?
Well, what Ty mentioned, I go to your regionalism, like students do things because of experientation. So if they've experienced something, they know it's there, it builds an interest. So Michigan Sugar is a good example. When we first walk students into there, let's be honest, a lot of the younger kids think it's that place that smells kind of funny. What it really is
it
a place
smells like money, Jake.
Yeah.
It smells like money.
But we're talking
Cash.
about from a kid's point of view, right?
Sure.
So from a kid's point of view, when we take them there and they do a tour, they find out there are scientists there, there are engineers there. There are marketing people there. There's this whole development that they didn't know. They're working with farmers on tractors that drive GPS. So if you're a business that is what I call the worst kept secrets in the region, like everybody should know about you. You want to hire people here that live here, are committed to being here. You need to have the CSO program come and tour, because what we do, the CSOs are ambassadors to their peers. And Ty said it right, sort of. Like, they definitely want to listen to him because he still looks kind of like them. They don't want to hear a gray-haired guy like me sit in the front of the room and say, this is what you need to do today. No, but when their peers say it, and that gets them excited because it makes sense. So that is what we're really looking to do here. So we're getting ready to go to MBS. That's one of those secrets out there. That'll be our fall one. But we're always trying to grow and partner with these organizations to, if you can house 50 students and we can do tours and stuff like that, we will make it work. If you can't house 50 students, call me. We'll figure it out. But we want to see all those businesses.
So, folks, if you're listening, our friends at SK Siltron that are brand new and really a dynamic and growing field, and others that are out there, we have students, and we want them to learn about the jobs that are right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, and getting those students interested as soon as possible. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to learn more about the chief science officers.
I worked on the ranch here, first with my grandfather and then my dad. On this land, we do have a lot of sun, but also have a lot of wind. So having the turbines on the ranch is a benefit to us. I was apprehensive about the whole project, but now I think it's a win-win for everybody. We will produce power for the folks around this area, and this land will have a legacy. As a rancher, I think that's what we really hope for.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. Or how much easier it is to move mountains of soil with the 1 Series tractor. We could even go into detail about how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, you just have to get in the seat. Learn more at johndeere.com/get-in-the-seat or visit a dealer near you.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interest first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your gas light's on. We need to fill up.
Gas around here is too expensive.
Don't drive all over searching for the lowest prices. Just download the free Upside app and get cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying gas? I'm stopping now to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up. That's promo code GIFT.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at babbel.com. Just go to babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. This is our final segment of today's show, and I'm here with Jake Lounsbury and Ty Jarvis from STEM SVSU. And it's been a great hour kind of chatting about all things related to STEM education, regional STEM initiatives, and the Chief Science Officer program, and an event we have upcoming with the CSO Student Congress. I guess my question for you goes to this, and I'm going to put you on the spot, Jake. So I deal with it all the time. Why STEM? Why STEM? And I'm often asked, why not STEAM? Why at some point do we not look at considering the A and adding the arts? Why are we focused on just STEM? Shouldn't we look at being a STEAM community? There's so much science that intersects between art and kind of that science piece. And I'll tell you, someone who I was fortunate enough to recently be at some of the museums in Europe, and a lot of the art they talk about when you're got your headphones on and listening to the tour, how it intersects with science and how they really kind of viewed science and put it into a lot of the art. So that's my question for the STEAM community out there. I know they're listening today, the folks in the art community. Should we become a STEAM community, or do you think it's important that we really kind of keep our head down and keep focusing on STEM?
So I'm very much a focus on messaging. Now, STEM is all inclusive and it includes art, in my opinion. We start losing the importance of what STEM is and what we're looking for in the workplace when we start adding letters just for the sake of adding letters. Because I've seen STEAM, I've seen STREAM. My favorite was STEM MM because it was mathematics and manufacturing. And I'm like, doesn't engineering have to do with manufacturing and technology? Like they all tie in together. I'm not
Jake,
opposed.
The worst one I ever heard was STREAM, SHTREAM. They wanted to add humanities and reading and art. And I'm like, isn't that just called education, folks? Like, it seems like we've gone a little overboard.
And that's what we're talking about. The reason I like to focus on STEM is if we're looking at workforce training right now, and we're looking at building that pipeline of learners. It's not that we're opposed to art, but the focus is on science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, art can play a part in that. When you're looking at science and you're talking to your marketers, they're looking at psychology and all sorts of things that has to do with art. Technology with programming and digital drawing, all of that stuff ties into art. So I'm not opposed to it. And we do activities where we partner with the museum quite often. But in a messaging situation, when we're really trying to build these students up and get them into that pipeline, I think STEM is the important way to stay. Not that I'm opposed, not that I would say no to any of them, but that's where I sit when it comes to messaging.
Yes, I'll tell you from our seat here in the region, when we think about how do we grow this region, how do we really look at making sure that we have that robust talent pipeline, we look at where are the jobs today and where are they going to be tomorrow. And if we look around, and I just give out a sampling of companies, Dow, Corteva, DuPont, Nextier, Morley, Covenant, Michigan, McLaren, Hemlock Semiconductor, SK Siltron, earlier the United Association of Plumbers and Pipe Fitters were in the room, Skilled Trades. All of these are STEM jobs. All of these. So if we look at anything in healthcare, fastest growing field in the Great Lakes Bay region the last 20 years, it's been healthcare. If you look at the age of the population in our region, the fastest growing field in the region for the next 20 years will be healthcare. Every job in healthcare is a STEM job. Every skilled trade job is a STEM job. All the jobs I laugh at that I have no mental capacity to do, being an engineer, a biochemist, an architect, a computer programmer, etc. All STEM jobs. When we really look at how do we move our economy forward, we're a STEM-based economy today, don't you think?
Oh, completely. And that's why I like focusing on it, is that's what we're looking at. Again, that pipeline is so important to this region, and we've got some major projects coming up. Corning's about to come in and hire a bunch of people, everything else. We
About
need
1,100.
we need to engage with those companies and get them engaged with the community now, because that's how we're going to keep people here. So it's through STEM, getting them excited about it. And that's why I say we're K to Gray, because maybe you're in a job right now you're not super happy with. Come talk to us. Let's look at what's going on that you can change your path. And SVSU is a great source for that, and just an amazing place to be. And it's a nice campus, right?
It's a beautiful campus.
Yeah.
Ty, I'm going to end with you. So if maybe there's a student that's out there right now that's listening and they're thinking, gee, STEM sounds like a lot of work. What advice would you give them on why they should look at a STEM-based career?
I mean, first off, STEM is everywhere. Like you just said, there's so many STEM careers that students don't even realize when they're in middle and high school. So all I got to say is find what you are passionate about, and there's STEM in it somewhere. Take that first initial step, find what you like to do, dig a little deeper, and you're going to stumble upon a STEM career, a STEM pathway, and there's a place for you in this region for that.
Well, gentlemen, you guys know me well. I am happy to talk all things STEM whenever you would like. Thanks for all you do at Saginaw Valley State University, and best of luck with the Congress here in a few weeks.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Today, we are talking to the embittered ghost of America's least known president, Millard Fillmore.
Humbug.
About a historic new instant games series from the Michigan Lottery. 4 tickets that feature portraits of Jefferson, Lincoln, Hamilton, and Jackson.
Wait, but no Fillmore?
Yeah, but there are top prizes up to $2 million and $181 million in total prizes. Gonna play, Millard?
I vote yes.
Instant games, instant fun for everyone.
Like Jefferson, Lincoln, Hamilton, Jackson, and me.
Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included with the activation of a Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Requires in-store activation. Device offer ends 6/9/24. Taxes and fees apply.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show, presented by Westside Decorating Center. I want to thank Jake Lounsbury and Ty Jarvis from SVSU for joining me this past hour. Up next is going to be the Focus Show. I'm going to have Andrea Seacrease with Greater Midland with us. But first, the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. Donald Trump's lawyer is attacking Michael Cohen's testimony during his closing argument this morning at the former president's criminal trial, and he says there is reasonable doubt in the government's case. CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman says each side today looks for an edge.
You have to be authentic. The jury has to trust you as an advocate. The burden of proof is solely on the government.
I'm Matt Piper outside the criminal courthouse in New York. While closing arguments are underway just across the street, Robert